Hey creatives, Karen here, mixed media artist and creative at By the Wolf Moon. It's been quite a while since I was last able to get onto YouTube and do a video for you all, but I am back now and hopefully we'll be able to start posting again more regularly. I've had a whirlwind 3 months. Trying to find a place to live in a society that isn't really geared to housing single parents with high needs children on limited incomes. But fortunately, with a lot of help from my mum and son, I have hopefully found a place and we'll know on Wednesday night if it is secured for us. So I'm very grateful for that. I have about a month till I have to be out of the place I'm in, which I have managed to extend from the initial date I was given. So it has been a trying few months to say the least. Anyway, I am back now. I finally managed to have a day or two to do some creating, and I have put together my house journal, which I am calling the House of Wonder. So this started in 2020, near the end of 2020 I think, where I made this front cover. And at that stage I wasn't sure where it was going. I just wanted to create something that was purely self-indulgent, something that I really loved. And ironically, a few months later, finding a house became my main focus in real life as well. So I've put this journal together and I'm going to show you quickly what I've done so far, and then we're going to work on a page together. I am keeping this journal for myself as an art journal and a purely self-indulgent thing. So all the pages I will be creating with pieces that I really love, stuff that I've saved because I haven't wanted to use it. I am forcing myself to use it and put it into the pages in this journal. So this is the front cover. I've created bay windows using plastic acetate and die cuts and card. It's all been done with cardboard and paper towel, and everything is repurposed from things that I've found and collected over the years, apart from the door handle here, which is a Tim Holtz product. So the front door opens and gives you a sneak peek of the inside. There is a stained glass window up the top here, created with acetate and paints, and I have bound the journal with book rings and just tied some scraps of silk and cloth and ribbon from my fabric stash. So let's move on to the inside. I'm going to turn it around and then hopefully I can get it in. Oh. So I'm going to do this upside down, but I'll flip it when I edit the video so it's the right way up for you guys. So on the inside I have got some little silk flowers that I picked up from somewhere. I dissected them off something. It was probably part of Christmas or birthdays or something like that. Some little faux pearl beads, and this suspended on wire, which I've pushed through the bottoms of the bay windows on each side. And I've put a little umbrella pocket on the inside of the door. Made a little umbrella to sit in there and a little walking stick just for fun. These are some pictures from a magazine or a book that I found. I thought they were kind of cute, and the wallpaper was done with some paper that I was gifted, secondhand paper from someone who didn't want it anymore. So that is the inside cover. There we go, right way up again. I have done the first page, my first page in the book, which is a collage, I guess you'll call it. So I embroidered the rabbit onto a scrap piece of cloth and then added some bits and pieces to the page. So each of the pages are brown paper bags that I have collected. You know, they've recycled, they've been used, and I've collected them and am using them for the pages of this journal. I do that for most of my journals. I am very much about repurposing and reusing and recycling, so lots of my journals have brown paper bag pages in them. I have gone through each page and just for most of them done just a little something, either stitching or some the start of what will be a collage, just kind of as an inspiration for when I get to that page to how I am going to decorate it. Just gives me a starting point, if that makes sense. So some of the pages have some decoration already and some of them are just left blank. Some of them I've started with some backgrounds. These are pages from a very old book that I managed to pick up. It is from the 1800s, but it is in really poor condition. So you can see it's all falling apart. And it's not an uncommon book. I did research on it before I started using the pages and everything, so you don't need to be upset that I'm destroying a vintage book or an antique book actually now. There are copies of it easily found and in much better condition than the copy that I have, so I have used parts of it in this journal. Just added some pops of colour here and there, and just whatever I felt like doing at the time. So I think what I'll do is, there's a page I started with a pocket and an envelope, not finished yet. There are some wallpaper samples in here. One of the pages of the beautiful book, that's how the page was. I didn't age it any further. I just stuck it on the as part of a background. Okay, so what I'll do is get to the page I've chosen to work on today and then show you what I'm planning on doing. So this page here, and throughout the pages, you'll see I've unwound all the paper handles from the paper bags, and they create a really cool texture effect on the page. almost like raffia, but it is paper from the paper bag handles. Another beautiful page from that book. Alright, this is the page I've chosen to work on today. The rest of the book is basically the same as what you've already seen, until we get to the back. So you'll have seen, if you follow this channel, the videos that I did for the creating the back cover, and I have a plan for what is going on here, which I will show you when I get to it, and the corrugated iron look of the very back cover. So that is my journal as it stands, and hopefully it's just going to be a work in progress that I will video and share with you as I work through it. So to get started, what I have done so far is selected a collection of items that I thought I might like to use on this page. I will give you a little look. So I have them set out around me. So here I have a vintage book, my small scraps of paper, there's the old book, some little trinkets and bits and pieces that I might like to include, my glues, a serviette, a selection of laces and fabrics, a playing card, and those are all things that I may include as we go along. We'll just have to see what happens. What I tend to do when I'm working on a journal is pull out a selection of different fabrics that I keep aside and use throughout the time I work on the journal, so it remains mostly consistent. Sometimes I'll add extras if I want to, but it just gives me a consistent fabric, textile and colour palette throughout the pages that I work on. And also with the laces, the same thing. I pull out a selection and tend to carry those throughout the journal as I'm working on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this page is I've embroidered another scrap piece of fabric with this image, which I really love, and this is going to be the focal point for this page that I'm working on. I'm not going to embroider pieces for every page of this journal. Maybe I'll probably have about 5 in this journal, but if you've checked out the other journals that I've done, you'll know that including embroidered pieces is one of the things I love to do in my journals. So this is going to be the focal point, and now we just need to create the background. Okay, I am going to start with cutting this down. So this is just some scrap from when I paint, and I have leftover paint or wiping my brush off or something. I have scraps of paper that I wipe my brush off on, and I keep them because they make awesome pieces for backgrounds. These are some pages out of a book that I picked up at an op shop. It's called Antique Clothing, French Sewing by Machine, but it's got really cool illustrations in it, so I love using those in my journals. Okay, and that is the start. So I'm going to start by gluing the background down, and then we will add to it.